This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
So some of the things that we anticipate and we know that Congress is going to have to deal with, the big one is going to be the ratification of the US-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. So NAFTA 2.0, the renegotiated NAFTA agreement, it's the USMCA is the new acronym. So that was wrapped up in the fall, but the process of now getting ratification through Congress has to begin. But the hope is that there would be the up or down vote in the late spring, early summer on the ratification of this agreement. It's a big priority for agriculture. From the feed industry perspective alone, since NAFTA went into place in 1993, our exports to Mexico and Canada for feed ingredients, and pet food tripled. We're up to $3.1 billion worth of exports to those two countries alone. That's about 30% of our feed exports, and 50% of our pet food exports go to these two countries alone. So it's a very important market for the animal food industry. There have been some discussion and some members of Congress that have said that they do not support the agreement, so there will be a lot of back and forth that will happen as the debate goes on. And one of the big issues that remains is the steel and aluminum tariffs. So these are two countries, Canada and Mexico, where we hold their steel and aluminum to the tariffs, and that has caused a lot of our agriculture products that go to those countries to have retaliatory tariffs put on them. And so there will be a lot of discussion about the impact of those tariffs and the rescinding of those tariffs to see if since we negotiated in good faith with these two countries on redoing NAFTA, can we get back to the good trade environment that we've had? So expect when you hear NAFTA, you're going to hear, or USMCA, you're going to hear probably, at least in the first little bit here, some discussion about those steel and aluminum tariffs that go hand in hand with Canada and Mexico. With NAFTA, we had, from a feed industry perspective, we had 0 tariffs. That remains in the renegotiated agreement. And then another part that is in here that was a win for our industry is the sanitary and phytosanitary chapter. So all of those issues dealing with feed safety, animal diseases, how do you deal with trade between our countries, that's in there at what was negotiated during the Trans-Pacific Partnership, if you remember that, when the U.S. was a party to that agreement and the negotiations that were there, and then our U.S. government has pulled out of that, but it's to that level, which was something that agriculture wanted, because that was a good thing for agriculture.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but yet we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer it and work with you.